Hello, 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 everyone. Today is your friendly neighborhood Christian, and today what we'll be talking about is what does it mean to be in a mean sleep? So very quickly, a mean sleep is the first time I heard that term. It was from the CD called Street Fairy. Yes, I'm Gen X, so I remember CDs. So it was from the CD called Street Fairy by the artist Cree Summer. If you remember her, she played Freddie on Different World, and so she put out this one album and that was co-produced with Lenny Kravitz, but she wrote this song, but they sing it together. And if I could just read the lyrics, a little bit of the lyrics from this is, I've been in a mean sleep over you, and it hurts coming back to life. I'm lost to the longing, had to shut down half my mind just to still the space you left behind. So if anybody's been in a relationship, they can sort of know or sort of attest to, they understand what those lyrics mean, right? But it can also be, being in a mean sleep just doesn't have to be in a romantic relationship, but it could also be someone that you lost. It could be a friend that you lost, or a family member that you lost, and all those, anything that creates that sort of emptiness can create that space where there's been a mean sleep, where you just sort of shut down that part of yourself, and so you just don't have to just sort of deal, just so you can sort of make it day to day. Right? And then someone may come across, it may be, let's say if you lost a child, and you may meet someone who, this one person sort of touches your heart, and you sort of react, and you're uncomfortable and you don't know why. Or like one of the reasons that I brought Mean Sleep up is that I'm right now just in the midst of just very beginnings of talking to someone, but I realized in spending time with this person, I was like, whoa, these have been parts of myself that have just sort of tucked away, and now it's sort of coming back to life, so to speak. But it can also be, let's say if you've been, let's say you've had a passion, and for whatever reason you had a really hard time, and it wasn't coming to life like you thought, and you sort of tucked it away, and all of a sudden someone says, hey, why don't you write this thing? Or someone says, hey, why don't you teach this class? Or someone says, hey, why don't you do this community theater project? And all of a sudden it just sort of awakens this part of you, and you can sort of react, right? And in a very hallmarky, lifetimey kind of way, right? It may be this is a wonderful discovery, and you explore and you find friends and all this kind of stuff. But sometimes it can be something else. Sometimes it can really, the lyric says, it can hurt coming back to life, because you've come to a place of calm, where you've come to accept it. You've come to a place where you know that you can at least live with it. When something's been asleep and comes back awake, when it comes back awake, you don't know what it's going to be like, right? Like sleep, awake. And it leaves the opportunity. Anything can happen. It can go one way, it can go the other way. And so with that, it can be really hard, especially it's like if you've broken a leg, or you've had to have something in a cast or something, and all of a sudden it starts to come back, and you have to start reworking again. May have to go to physical therapy. It hurts in the beginning before it comes back, right? It really does. And then in some ways that's the mean sleep. You're just sort of moving those sort of spaces, places where you've had to not be as vulnerable before, places where you have not had to sort of discern what is, what you can trust and not trust. All these sort of places have now been awakened again, right? So one of the things that sort of I think about that is when you think about, well, what do you do in that situation? And of course, even, and I was dealing with it this week, right, is, I had to sort of take it to prayer, right? So in Psalm 147:3, it says that the Lord hears the heartbroken and will heal their wounds. Now, healing isn't easy, right? And so I feel like I say that a lot, that things aren't easy. I don't want to think that everything is very difficult. But these things, the bigger the risk, the greater the reward, the bigger the chance. And that's just the way, unfortunately, that's just the way it is, right? And so with that, whenever there's a risk and a chance, there's a risk and go one way or the other. And that's really when I'm saying that things aren't always easy, is that you're taking a chance. And taking and going on a limb is nothing to be dismissed. It's, there's a reason that it makes people afraid, right? And so with that, that the Lord hears the heartbroken and will heal their wounds. But the healing of the wounds may sometimes take time. And I want to leave us with Psalm 34:17, and it says, when the righteous cry for help, the Lord hears and delivers them, right? And that the Lord hears the heartbroken, stays near to the heartbroken and the crushed in spirit, right? And will make sure that not one of their bones are broken, right? And so a lot of times when people are in a mean sleep, it means that what happened is what was sort of crushed down, like that sort of crushed spirit, and that whatever situation is sort of bringing back life is sort of slowly creating life in that again, right? And so that is a process, and that is a journey. And so what that journey will lead to, who knows? But the one thing is that sleep is for sleep. And when we need sleep, that's great. But when things need to be awake, they need to be awake, right? Because that's the only way and in awake, you take action, amen? So I hope this is helpful for someone, and we actually will be discussing it further tomorrow in Mia's prayer chat. So if it's sparked your interest, come on the line, come on and with our little Google Meet, and we'll be happy to have you in there. But otherwise, if this is helpful for someone, amen. So I want to wish everyone a wonderful, this is a holiday week. I personally have not celebrated Thanksgiving in many years. But I think the idea of it is a beautiful thing. And so for those who celebrate, I wish you have a wonderful Thanksgiving, whether it's virtual or whether it's with immediate people in your family who you have known, who are safe. Okay, don't be out there taking chances. All right, let's get on the other side of this, right? I don't want to see 2021 that's still in mass. Amen. So I wish everyone a wonderful Thanksgiving holiday for those who celebrate, and thank you so much for listening. Mwah.